Okay guys, so we're up here at the church area where I make a lot of the videos because this is a very nice place just to do some, trailing and everything. So there's a couple spots up here on this bank up here that we're going to get some good testing for this skid plate. So I'm going to turn the camera around here. You can see my ugly face, but I'm super impressed so far with this skid plate, and I downloaded an incline meter on my phone. I want to show you how steep this stuff is where we've been going up and down in the videos. I just figured I'd get that in the video to show you guys. It's pretty gnarly, these climbs here. No, it's not it's not real hard rock, but it's like loose clay, and loose clay is very hard anything to make it up in. It did rain a little bit last night, so I'm hoping that'll make it a little ease of use getting up this spot. It'll just aid me in making the test a little bit easier. I mean, the truck would make it with no problem, but to make it a little easier for me to walk up, because I'll show you in a minute on the video. We'll do the incline test, so be right back. All right, guys, so we're gonna go to our first spot here. And like I said, this isn't a scale trailing video or anything like that. I'm running it around. We're getting good tests on our dry shafts because my buddy said he was concerned about the dry shaft angle. Really, I don't see any problems with it. Everything seems to be doing really well. So we're starting up our first spot right here. And I'm going to go up here. I'm going to walk up this. It's really hard to do. I'm going to get my phone and I'm going to show you guys on the incline meter how actually bad this is. So hold on a second and I will be right back. Okay, so here's the incline meter. So we are at there's a 56, there's a 56, in some places 57, and then you can come up here. This is the ruts that we've been getting in. There's a 62 incline, and I'm going to try to walk ahead up here real quick and me level this back out here. If I can get up this. Very steep. This is the main spot where we test the skid plate clearance right here. There's a rock ledge. And I'm going to show you how steep this rock ledge is if I don't fall and kill myself. So let me see. It flipped around. Hold on a second, I gotta reset this thing. Okay guys, got this thing recalibrated. I messed it up when I was messing with it a little bit ago. So there we go. This thing is around 70, 71, 72. That's in 75 incline right here, 75% degrees or whatever. 74, 75, just depending where you go, because it's the ground here. There's a 75. So this is pretty steep here. There's 70, 69. So this is a really steep little angle right here that we're going to be coming up. So I'm going to see how this thing does coming up this spot here. Filming once again from the GoPro, because this ain't about scale stuff. We're just doing the video here. That truck probably is going to look super far away on video here. So see how well it does here. Make its way all the way to the top. I just figured I'd film the whole thing since we're doing dry shaft testing too. Holy moly, she actually come right up with no problem at all. So I'm gonna see if I can get, now this is the spot where we were just at with the super steep incline. We're gonna see about our clearance on our skid plate. If I can get under it. See, she went right up that. So, and then we'll just drive it down here. We'll kind of come down and steep in and see if this center skid plate like I said, this truck's been in stock, non-working leaves. You gotta be careful with this just window right here because it's so steep. So let's see what we got right here. Woo! And you can see our skid plate's actually still not touching right there. And it's not getting hung up. It's so steep I got to keep the reverse in. But it will roll right off of it without getting hung. Now, I'm going to stop the truck here and turn the camera. So, that spot right here we just went up. My bow house hits there. My A&M skid plate hits here. The factory Marlin one really hits there, but it will go over it. You have to dig a little bit to get over it. The regular TF2 one on my Marty truck just would not do it. It gets hung in that spot right there every time. Now you can finesse it and dig your way around on it in a different look spot, but I'm hitting the spot exactly where the factory skid plate hits. Even like I said, the Marlin factory one here, when I had the Marlin up here, it would hit that and it would hang the truck up. So this skid plate really does perform really well. So I'm going to run this thing up and down the bank here. So far drive shafts are doing fine. No problem with drive shaft angles, not popping any drive shafts. We're just going to drive around here for a little bit of a video. Probably not this hill because it's real steep for me to get up and down. We're going to go around the regular trail stuff and just do some different spots. This skid plate, guys, my opinion, I think his purchase for it is $18.70. I don't know what his shipping is going to be. I'm going to put in the video of a price listing of all of his parts where he broke down and sent to me. And then JRC Scale, you can message him on Facebook. You know, obviously this skid plate is definitely worth the 20 whatever dollars to have it shipped to you. He is in Thailand. It took a while for the shipping for it to get here because in the States to me. But pretty nice skid plate, guys. You know, if you don't mind modifying, you can run your stock skid plate, or you can raise your skid plate up some. With the 4Runner body, you're not going to be able to run your skid plate up because those bodies have trouble with the battery clearance, anyways. My best thing would be to modify that skid plate or buy the skid plate that he sells, and you know, it's just going to cost you a little bit extra. But and it does move your battery back a little bit, so that's why I elected just to modify my skid plate, because I'm not having no problems here today at all. I've got about close to 45 minutes worth of trailing. I know this video is not that long, but I'm not going to video the entire thing. That'd be pointless. Right now, to this point, we're just doing dry shaft testing to make sure we're not going to have dry shafts popping out on us. Make sure we're not going to have dry shaft any kind of binding or anything, which we haven't so far. So anyhow, let's get back to it. Okay guys, so doing some one-handed driving here. This Spectrum that I'm using is kind of nice because it's got a built-in one-handing driving thing. I usually don't like Spectrum transmitters, but this is a really gnarly spot here. So I'm going to see if I can get up this. I don't think, if it makes this, I'll be super impressed with that. I don't think it'll make this. but this is a good test for the dry shafts, you know what I mean? So yeah, my pumpkin is rutted, like you get high centered on your pumpkins in the real world in the 1-to-1. Right now they're dug in, so we're gonna have to go over. Keep in mind this is wet and muddy. Got the 1-wheel motion going. Yeah, she ain't gonna do it right there. So let's see if we can come over. 1-wheel motion again. There's a giant hole back there. I don't want her to drop in. Back her back down. There we go. That's pretty impressive for a stock TF2, guys. Okay, she just ain't gonna make that climb right there. I'm just digging it loose. It's kind of wet too. So, just doing to see if we're gonna pop a dry shaft, basically. Oh, she almost made it. If I had a little weight in the front of this thing, it'd make that. That's what I like about a leafer, man. They'll reach before they roll. In a link truck, it would have softened up in the suspension and just rolled back there a little bit. So I could get up the rut side if it wasn't for my pumpkin. The rear pumpkin's dug in now. But this is a good dry shaft test because these are stock dry shafts. If we're going to pop them, we're going to pop them doing this. Alright guys, we ain't gonna make it up that spot, so we'll do an up close shot of the over here coming up where we came up a little bit ago. Like I said, this is loose shale and clay. I'm gonna work it to get it over where we were at before, because I started way over. This is the hard spot. There we go. Right over it. And like I said, this is a stock 45 turn in here. Stock ESC, stock pinion, stock compass tires on the Blazer body. So let me turn this off and get over to another spot. Okay, we're at another spot here. This is kind of like the neighbor's garage here has a bunch of like just rocks and concrete blocks and just pieces of cement and everything. We're gonna see how I can climb over this here. This is pretty steep where I'm at. Of course it's gonna walk over this pretty easy, I think, but there's a chunk of concrete right here that we're gonna try to get, if I can get these tires to bite a hold. I don't know if I can. I think if I had, this is where a shackle reversal would come in handy because it would let your axle slide back. What I'm talking about is because they push forward in a situation like this, and then it won't let your front end go back and pop over. So that's why a shackle reversal is nice. We're going to come over here at this angle and see if I can turn into it here and get it to work, which I can. Getting over that spot, and this is just a bunch of concrete blocks, guys, stacked together here. Pretty gnarly for a leaf truck, in my opinion. I don't want to chew my body up too bad on this. Trying to go up higher. She's trying. I hope the camera's picking it up. There we go. Holy balls. Now I'm going to try to walk this brick. Oh, yeah. Scratching the body all to nothing, but it's not painted, so those will sand out. It'll buff. Trail pig. Well, test pig. Trying to get a good angle here with the camera for you guys. And we gotta find a good place for a dismount. I guess this is probably as good a place as any. See if I can turn into it this way. Oh yeah. Rear bumper off. There we go, guys. That's what I just crawled. Huh? So we're just driving along the ridge top where I do the videos here. This is just an easy section of trail. My driving like crap will probably roll me over. I need my brace for my hand. Hand's starting to lose feeling doing this one-handed driving stuff. But make out that ground clearance she has. I hope guys actually take the time out to watch this video. I know I post a lot of content, but that's what RC is for me. It's just I love it. So she's got massive amounts of ground clearance. Drive shaft angles are not going to be a problem, guys. I really don't think. If you're that worried about it, let me turn the camera around. If you end up getting that worried about your drive shaft angles, RC 4-wheel drive sells this kit, and I think maybe another company. I have them. They're shims, just like in a real one-to-one on a leaf spring. You can shim under your axle, and they're angled different angles, and you can turn your pinion up a little bit, and that'll take some of your what I call pinion angle out of your front and rear end. I can't see that being a problem with this. You know, as long as you're not got it lifted or anything like that. If you're just running like a stock, if you're just running a stock TF2, I can't see that becoming a problem. So yeah, it's actually working out pretty well. I'm not worried about changing my pinion angle at all on this one. So drive shafts have not popped. I have not had a single drive shaft issue so far. They are just stock brand new RC 4-wheel drive plastic axles that come in the TF2. I just want to make sure everybody understands that watching the video. This is just taking, like I said, a TF2 and slapping the skid plate on it right out of the box how he gives it. So let's get over here to another spot. Okay guys, so we're at another spot right here. You can see the back of the Blazer is kind of cockeyed, jacked up here. So we're gonna see what we got here. This is a bad spot, and it came over no problem. So I'm gonna back it back down here. Probably gonna be the last test spot here after that concrete block crawl. I can't see, you know what I mean, if I was gonna pop an axle or anything like that, it would have happened there. So let's see if we can get our bumpers dug in. I don't think it'll push past that. Yeah, it ain't gonna push past that. Bumper's hooked. You can see I'm not exactly being super baby in this thing, so there we go. We got the tire carry right there. That's what they talk about when a leafer rig is reaching. See? It reaches, and then it sets back down. There we go, guys. I think that's going to conclude our test here of the test pig. We did the JRC. This is the JRC skid plate. We'll turn it over here and see if how much wounds it has on it. Okay, so I've kind of already pulled up on it a little bit here. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to get the skid, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it to hit down enough. Well, we're into the body and our battery tray, so that ain't bad flex for non-broken in leaf springs and not a lot of weight. I mean, that's pretty good, guys. That's actually pretty impressive. All right, so, not that I give a shit about flex, but okay. And you can see the rear bumper's hung on the rock here, so we're just gonna punch it. So, little scale driving. Gnarly spot right here. See if we can get her turned. Sorry, the camera's moving around, guys. My hand is not the best. This is probably close to a 60-degree incline, or 50 some. So I'm trying to get that skid plate as close to this rock hanging up here, see if, because I know the diff will hit it, I think, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, diff's hitting. So let me see if I can. Okay, so we're gonna stop the camera here and I'm gonna see if I can get up close to this rear drive shaft, and I'm gonna show you why it's important to have an anti-wrap bar. Okay, you can make it out. It's got some, doesn't even really show scratches that bad because it's that brushed stainless or whatever. It's got some scratches there where we hit down. Definitely got some scratches in the body I'll have to work on sanding out before I do some painting on this thing. Axles now have battle scars on them. Like I said, these are pretty much brand new. They had hardly any wear on them at all. So just this little bit, guys, especially that concrete area. That was a straight shot, one take, guys. I didn't stop recording and try it over and over again. That was one fluid take on them concrete block walk over there. So you can see where the drive shafts have been hitting on everything. So the drive shafts hit. They chewed on the plastic ears a little bit here. So they were bound up pretty good in the video testing. If it was going to have a problem, it would have had it. You see where the battle scars is on the axles there. So I can't see going any further with the testing here. I mean, obviously you can do some long-term stuff, but what's the use? I would have popped or broke something in this video if it was going to. This thing works great. Everything's tight. Drive line's running pretty smooth. My wiring got down a little bit there. Everything's running pretty smooth, guys. No weird angles on nothing. It's got the typical wobble. Check out my buddy Jose Canseca on his YouTube channel. I'll put a link to it. I'm gonna add a link to his video about fixing this. Him and I noticed this quite a while back, especially when you upgrade to these LCG skid plates, any of them. it seems to add a little bit worse to this movement. Because this thing, it needs a joint. RC Full Drive should be doing some kind of jointed shaft. They make one as an upgrade, of course, but you got to buy it separate. He's running the Boom Racing one. I'm going to go measure this distance and see if I can get away with buying them one of them cheap $10 ones just for a budget upgrade, and do a video on that for you guys as well. So yeah, you guys can just buy this skid plate straight from JRC, and I think you'll be fine, no problems at all. You have to modify the battery tray. You can see maybe there where I cut that one a little bit, I painted it up black. You can buy his battery tray as well. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is body fitment. The interior is in this Blazer, like I said. You can see it in the video. It doesn't hit, there's plenty of clearance. Looking at this, I'm pretty sure you can see the clearance way away from the interior, guys, still. So I can't see the 4Runner being a problem. I will fit the 4Runner body in a later video here and show you guys if it'll fit, because the 4Runner is on this standard wheelbase and uses the same spacer plate as the Blazer. So we will drop my red 4Runner body over this bad boy with the interior in it and see what we got for clearance. So anyhow, I think that concludes our testing, guys. I think this is going to be a long enough video strung together. So from the RC Dungeon, peace.